Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to JoJo's Pitter Patter Pop. I hope you guys got your Part 4 Jotaro, because if you look right here, he's gone. The man's gone. Just Trish. Just little Trish and these banners that you only get one ticket for. I hope you guys got him. I know some of you didn't get him. I feel bad for you. I really do. But he'll be back at some point again, probably, maybe. But anyway, today we're not doing so much on the gameplay side. Today we're talking about what you should think about when you're constructing a team. Now, constructing teams is not very hard in this game because teams are two characters. So really, you're picking partnerships, right? And the main thing in this game, when you're picking a partner for your primary character, is that you need to look at one who your initial character is going to be. In my opinion, the best teams in this game are a really strong character and then a support character that specifically enhances that main character, right? I think the only team that you could argue is just two really strong characters slapped together that's top tier is Part 4 Jotaro and Fugo. But even then, I think Fugo accentuates what Part 4 Jotaro wants to do, so I still think it qualifies as the primary and the support. So, as your primary character, that's really the character that you're kind of focused on. It's generally the best character that you have from people that I'm seeing. I mean, obviously, I can't speak for everyone, but a lot of people, you've got Part 4 Jotaro, Voice Giorno, Jonathan even, for a lot of new people who don't have that much great stuff yet, they go for Jonathan. Fugo works fine in that role. It can really be anybody that you think is really good, basically. Shigechi, a lot of people use Shigechi for that. So that's the character who is generally going to be putting in the most work. Because if you look at score attack teams, right? Don't use this most recent one because this one was dominated by Voice Giorno and Abakio, which is only such a good combination in score attack because they were both bonus units at the same time. So I think next score attack you won't see very much of that when Giorno's not a bonus unit anymore. It's going to shift back to the standard Part 4 Jotaro plus whoever the hell else combination. But the main thing is... sorry, I lost my train of thought. I do that a lot lately. You want to find a support character that specifically enhances the style of play that the main character is going for. So for example, a tile changer, someone like Jonathan, someone like Voice Giorno, they want someone that's going to increase the impact of their stand abilities, right? So these child changers are really good because they're very predictable. It doesn't really matter what's on the board other than what they're doing. I mean, Giorno it kind of does, but for the most part, they're laying out a pattern. You know exactly where it's going to be. You can set up for it ahead of time by filling out some extra areas with their other tiles to make the combo bigger. Make sure you don't overlap their own stuff. You know, they're very dependable, very simple, good characters. So how do you increase their impact on the board? Well, you obviously wouldn't bring a second tile changer. You know, you wouldn't do something like this. You wouldn't bring Giorno and then someone like Josuke who's just going to overwrite what Giorno just did. They aren't compatible. So what you want to do with a tile changer is you want someone that's either going to enhance their tiles on the board, who's going to make it easier to make combos for them on the board by either removing tiles or by creating them, or you want someone who is going to charge in their pattern. So let's look at Jonathan. Jonathan's got a pretty big pattern, especially at skill 5, right? That's a big little area in the middle. So how do you make that better? Well, someone like Stroheim, what Stroheim does is he blows up all of his own tiles and then no more Stroheim tiles spawn. So it's a lot easier for Jonathan to get big combos off of his ability because there's one less conflicting spawning color. Right? That's pretty good for any changer. Rohan, someone like Rohan generates additional charge tiles. So you can use Jonathan at stand-up time, or you can use Rohan first even, generate the Jonathan charge tiles, and then put even more over top with Jonathan's ability, or the other way around, however you want to do it. And that will lead to an even bigger combo that also has charge in it. Or you can go to someone like... Where are you, buddy? Pesci. What Pesci does is he creates tiles for his ally, and then he pulls all of the tiles to the top of the board. So it pushes all of them automatically together, so it erases any individual lines, because when they're all pulled up like that, they're automatically making squares. So it increases your stand-up time damage because Pesci organizes them for you. A lot of people think that Mariah, who's coming out tonight to tomorrow morning, will also do that, and it's very possible that she will. That's another good one. Or, of course, Koichi, who just charges that middle pattern. Look at the overlap between Koichi's charge and Jonathan's tiles. So Jonathan can lay down a big center board, and then Koichi can just charge the whole thing during stand-up time. For a tile changer, stand-up time is where all of their damage comes from. It's where all of their lucrative stuff comes in. So when you have someone like that, you always want to make sure you have someone that has a high-impact combo move in stand-up time. I mean, that's pretty much all there is to it. Stand-up time has a damage modifier on it, even for skills that are not the final hit. So if you do something like Fugo or Okuyasu in stand-up time, they will also have a multiplier, right? So now let's talk about an eraser. So let's use Fugo as the primary example, because I think pretty much everyone knows Fugo is really, really good. So erasers are pretty self-sufficient. These are characters that just wipe out tiles. It kind of matters what's there, because for example, if you accidentally leave a box up there and you erase it, that box is gone. But these characters don't really need that much help. They're very straightforward, very simple characters that just blow up an area in the middle. So a character that would generally make them better is, funnily enough, is Fugo himself, because Fugo leaves those charge tiles down there for someone to break. So someone that helps out Fugo a lot would either be someone that lets him spam his ability, so basically another eraser like, say, Okuyasu. You know, this is a fine combination because, one, Fugo clears all that space and he leaves the erased tiles, the charged block tiles, and then Okuyasu erases those tiles with his own ability, and then he charges a nice chunk of Fugo's gauge. So these guys just kind of charge each other back and forth and build it up. Anyone works well with an eraser that builds charge gauge very easily, because these guys just want to spam their ability, right? They're not looking for big, souped-up combos like a tile changer. They just want to keep erasing the board over and over and over again. And what makes Fugo so good, and part of why he's the best one, is one, look at that coverage area, and two, he can erase his own charge tiles for bonus damage. So even if you don't bring someone like Okuyasu who can erase that specific area, it's okay because Fugo can erase that specific area. That's why Jotaro and Fugo are so good, is you slap these guys together, and yeah, Jotaro can't break those blocks, so he can't do anything to get Fugo's blocked tiles off the board. But he charges Fugo back up so quickly that Fugo can just break them himself for even more damage. So every time you use Fugo after the first time, it's doing more damage. So I'm kind of rambling. I'm trying to give examples. I know it's not the most coherent thing ever, but basically, Tile Changer as your primary character, you want someone who's going to enhance their combo. That's why Giorno loves Abacchio, because Abacchio enhances Giorno's combo and makes it bigger than he could ever make it by himself. Same with Jonathan and Koichi, or any Tile Changer in the whole world, and Pesci. They do this kind of stuff, or they can do something like making the 6x6. Like Giorno can make that big 6x6, but he can't do it by himself. He needs someone that can elevate his stand ability to something that good. Whereas a character like Fugo or Okuyasu or any of those other erasers, they don't combo. They don't do anything. Like in stand-up time, they're not trying to make a big combo. So someone like Rohan or even Koichi, they're okay, but they're not helping that much because they're not doing anything that the eraser really needs. Like, yeah, they'll do bonus damage if Fugo erases Koichi's charge tiles, but Koichi, you can't double charge a block. So Koichi's not going to lay charge down over Fugo's area and then do even more damage. It's just going to add a little bit when Fugo breaks the extra blocks that got charged. So really, erasers just love a friend that lets them spam. That's why a lot of combinations in this game that are considered really good are just your eraser buddies. Fugo and Okuyasu. Fugo and Stroheim is decent-ish. And then Fugo and Jotaro, because Jotaro is a class all on his own. He's not a tile changer, he's not an eraser, he's a fucking time stopper, and he just does whatever he wants, and he makes everybody better. Or even like Zeppeli. Zeppeli is really good with Fugo. So, I mean, you just got to kind of look at something like that. Mista's really good with Fugo, especially at high skill levels, because he'll break all of Fugo's tiles, and he adds a lot of skill gauge when he blows all the tiles up, because he gets a bonus. It's nice. When looking at your lower tier characters, so I mean not lower tier, but like lower rarity, these guys almost get all their value out of support. So for example, the big dogs right here, Koichi's your big man for tile changers, or Jotaro, because Jotaro can make time-stopped combos out of everything that he charges and do a lot of damage. He's your main charger Mostly because it's hard to get Rohan's skill level up. Rohan is gonna be better than Koichi at max skill level, but you're never gonna get him there realistically unless you whale. So it's up to you. Mine is maxed, of course, but yours isn't, and it's fine. You just use Koichi. Lisa is a good one that gets slept on a lot. Her charge pattern works really well with both Okuyasu, who can just wipe the whole row out, or the old Giorno, because you can use the old Giorno to make his big tree, you know, where it's like the vertical bar. And then you can use Lisa, and she just charges the whole thing right up the center. Pesci. Pesci's obviously the greatest character in the whole world. He makes every tile changer into God. Use Pesci. That's the moral of my story, is just use Pesci. And Yukako is actually, I think, the only one I would consider really, really good on her own merit. She doesn't need to buff another character to be good. But, I mean, she does help increase other characters, but on her own, if you look at that pattern, you can see that her pattern's not connected. So she makes 2 boxes. So it's really good for stuff like Notorious B.I.G., King Crimson, anything where you need boxes to clear a lot of boards so you can get playing space back quickly. She's really good at that kind of stuff. She would still count as a tile changer, but as you can see, she doesn't combo with Koichi at all. That little middle area is completely open. Naturally, Yukako and Koichi, of all people, should combo together. But team building, it's really simple on its face. You find a character that's really good, and you slap another character that's really good with him. But if you want to maximize those characters, there's definite ways to do it. So using the score attack that's not this one weird one because of the Giorno and Abakio dominance. Pretty much every team was Jotaro and Fugo because they were just that good together. But the ones that weren't were Jotaro Koichi, Jotaro Shigechi. I mean, that was kind of a weird one, but it was there. Or Jotaro Rohan. So, I mean, you can see how strong it is to have a really great point character like Jotaro, and then a character to back him up, like Rohan. So even... Let's get out of here, yeah. Even this weird one, where it's all Giorno Abakio, and it won't be that way forever. Oh, we just got into maintenance. That's okay. We ran out of time anyway. I was starting to ramble. So, I guess we will call it there. Feel free to ask questions. I know you're going to have a lot of them. Because I feel like that was not the most coherent guide video in the whole world. But it should at least give you an understanding of what each class wants, you know? If you're thinking tile changer, you're thinking of how can I optimize this combination? How can I make the combo that they're trying to build even bigger? If you have an eraser, you're thinking of how in the world can I spam this ability as fast as I can? If you have Jotaro, you're basically thinking who can I put with him that allows him to be even more broken? That's pretty much all there is to it. So I will see you guys tomorrow. If you pull for Mariah, which I imagine most of you will not be because you're probably pretty tapped after Jotaro, we will talk about her. Bye, guys.